Say my Yegun diary, they hot like pepper. But every day, then they take money in bulk. Woman picking, they the street, they hawk. Still them talk, say, make we no talk. But thank God, say, my Yegun don't come. So my people make you laugh, oh, yo, yo. My Yegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. My people make you shout, oh, yo, yo. My Yegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. My Yegun don't come, man of the masses, oh, yo, yo. My Yegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. My Yegun diary politico, oh, yo, yo.
Hello there.
Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò.
Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one.
Good morning to you, good afternoon to you, and good evening to you from wherever you are watching from. It is Mayegun live.
Mayegun ti dé o, ọ̀rẹ́ ara yìí.
Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one.
Lórí Facebook, lórí YouTube.
Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one.
Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ní
Thank you so much for joining me. Share this broadcast. Invite your friends. Invite your not so friendly friends and tell them Mayegun today.
Mayegun number one.
bó bá ṣe rè, àní Mayegun máa wí.
Yeah, to my friends, the brethren in this temple of truth who are in America, happy 4th of July. That's significant, isn't it?
Mayegun diary politico.
Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one.
Godfatherism, kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Mayegun.
Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one.
Ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o, kẹ́kọ̀rọ̀ lẹ́nu.
Share the broadcast. Invite them. Read the caption. Read the description. I mean, like the broadcast before you sit back and enjoy.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ra kì í.
Mayegun ti dé. Mayegun ti dé.
Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ra kì í.
Mayegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ra kì í.
Mayegun ti dé.
Lórí Facebook,
Mayegun ti dé.
àní ẹ̀sùn ra kì í.
Mayegun ti dé.
Lórí YouTube,
Mayegun ti dé.
àní ẹ̀sùn ra kì í.
Mayegun ti dé.
Wọ́n bàbá gbé wúrẹ́,
Mayegun máa wí.
àní ẹ̀sùn ra kì í.
Mayegun ti dé.
Ijó ìgbádìyẹ,
Mayegun máa wí.
àní ẹ̀sùn ra kì í.
Mayegun ti dé.
Pẹ̀sìdó bá rúfin o,
Mayegun máa wí.
Thank you.
àní ẹ̀sùn ra kì í.
Mayegun ti dé.
Kí gómìnà gbówó jẹ,
Mayegun máa wí.
àní ẹ̀sùn ra kì í.
Mayegun ti dé.
Ọlọ́pàá ti ń darí fa,
Mayegun máa wí.
àní ẹ̀sùn ra kì í.
Mayegun ti dé.
Aṣòfin tí ń rúfin o,
Mayegun máa wí.
Let's get started. I know, you see, if you joined Mayegun's diary political recently, right? Normally you should have noticed, okay? Mayegun's videos are shot or streamed live. Anything after that are just the, cutouts for easy view for those who don't kind of like watching that long stretch. Now, from the start, because it is like starting a service, okay? You would let people know that, oh, it started, oh, now everybody should come in and join. So we spend that first 5, 6, 7 minutes, okay, to do all the normal things we do before we finally kind of get started. Things like, read what this conversation is all about this time. See which of them interests you that you want to kind of be part of and contribute to as well. Share the broadcast. That's to tell others that, it is happening here. So we do all of that from the beginning. So if you are watching a replay, any of Mayegun's diary video replay, you are advised, if you don't like this segment, okay, you can just, fast forward it. But if you're watching it live, people enjoy that. They love it because it gives everybody a chance, a lot of people chance to join us before we go deeper. When you read this caption, it reads, right? INEC can't prove how Tifnumbu won. Mhm. Also, the INEC witness, who happened to be a pastor, okay? Okay, no, sorry, before the pastor, INEC witness that they called yesterday to their stand in defense of Atifku's petition said, with what he has seen, that out of all of the results announced by INEC for presidential election in Nigeria, with all of the evidence, everything there, INEC witness said only 31% of the results make any mathematical sense. Do you know what that means? It simply means that, let's say INEC declared the winner of the election in, for example, Lagos. APC scored, Labour Party scored, PDP scored, right? And then this is the invalid votes, this is blah, blah, blah. So when they added everything together, mathematically, it doesn't make any sense. Do you get what I mean? And now imagine that happening in more than 60% of the entire result they announced, here and there and there. So one of their witness agreed to that. But today, when they finally called the witness to the stand, INEC witness, to defend Peter Obi's petition, all of these things you have been reading about, so Obi submitted this, Obi evidence, this and that. So they called the witness. This witness happened to be a pastor of RCCG, Redeemed Christian Church of God in Nigeria, Bayode Lawrence, who happened to be one of those that came out on TV to deceive the world of the preparedness of INEC for that sham election, okay? So when he was called to the stand, right, he happened to be the ICT director for INEC or something like that. He shall work in ICT. So before anything, you would have to swear to an oath, Abi. I say, okay, whether if you are a Christian or a Muslim, and if you don't have any religion, you can just say affirmation, like, I just believe that everything I'm going to say here is true. I don't need the Bible or Quran. But you won't expect that of a pastor, man of God. So when they call this man of God, Bayode, to the stand, are you a Christian or a Muslim? Well, he said he's a Christian. Then denied that he's a pastor. And also said, because of his faith, he cannot swear by the Bible that everything he was going to say or testify will be truth. So people were like, oh, the pastor doesn't want to swear with the Bible. That's new. Anyway, Mr. Bayode, here we are. You are from the ICT department of INEC. Tell us what happened to that IREF, the same one that your department collected billions of. That's not how they asked him. This is me using my own question asking about. I'll tell you what he said. So tell us what happened. The glitch. You said something about the glitch and all that. Glitch is when they say, oh, something happened that an app couldn't, work optimally. Okay. And they say, okay, because of that. Right. Sorry, that's my door. Somebody's at the door. So don't worry. Somebody's going to take that. It's a distraction, isn't it? Anyway, so glitch is like, oh, if you go to this place, when you do this, and that, then you get this. Then you get there. It's not doing same. It's not working, right? Then you can easily, probably your ICT team can easily just go there, all right? If it's going to be to do some recording or adding an extra code, whatever it is, to fix it. But there's something. If you have a glitch in your system, in this particular technology that they deployed for your charade election was purchased from Amazon. Now, Peter Obi and his team, they've already brought an Amazon witness to come and testify that, in fact, there was no glitch to stop them from transmitting the election result that day, it was deliberately turned off while the rest of all the other portals in that same IRF were working. So I mean, what do you call the Amazon has already proved that there is already an evidence of that in that same court. So this ICT guy came, having been caught in that web. He said, well, part of the question was, did you run any check on that portal before the election? And he said they did, right? Did you check the vulnerability of that technology, of that particular system for that election, that it was like foolproof? Where they said they did. Now, they did a test on the 3rd and on the 6th of February, about 19 days before the charade election. Now, when they did that, that's like to test if the old system is still going to do the job without any hacking, manipulation, and the rest. When the result came back, it was on the 22nd of February, 2023. Now, when it came on the 22nd, 3 days before the election, the results showed that IREFO and the BVASO, especially IREFO, was 81% prone to manipulation. Remember, they developed the IRF and they said, okay, that the BVAS is the one that will accredit you, scan you if you can vote. Then once you voted, okay, and they've counted the results, the election, and they have announced the winner in that polling unit, you will use that IRF, take the picture of the results, and upload it to the system. That was what they told you, or told the world. But 3 days before the election, INEC reports on that same system showed that even ordinary phone, your laptop, your desktop, your iPad, you can use them to upload anything into that IRF 3 days before the election. Which means INEC knew the vulnerability of whatever they are selling, the bobo they are selling to you. They just needed some more kind of lies to cover up. So your IRF, your BVAS, they've already been compromised before the election by 81%. So they are now asking Mr. Bayode, that failed or refused to swear by the Bible, that what does that mean? Does that mean that with that vulnerability, I said, no, they fixed it. They fixed it in 3 days. So if you fix something, won't you run a test again? If you run a test and it took you 2 weeks to get the full result back, right? So if you fix it and you run a test again, how long do you think that's going to take? 3 days? Of course not. Anyway, Mr. Bayode, there are results uploaded whereby in some places, the results were blank, including the ones printed by INEC, original copy certified by INEC results that they gave to us. 18,088 polling units of this from this result, 18,000 units are all blank. You can't read them at all. They gave him an example to read some of the results, and he said he couldn't read them. So, Mr. Bayode, what happened? You are from the ICT. So tell us, guess what this RCCG pastor said? He said, then there must be a glitch. And that glitch is that when they uploaded the results, okay, so the glitch changed the results paper and blurred it. That's what happened. So therefore, it won't really affect the election results, the final results. So this is where we're going. Okay. From what we have heard, they said, apart from the result printed by INEC, including the blurry one, mutilated ones, and those that have, like, you know what I mean, that they presented, signed, and they have been presented to the court. INEC has another result they printed. And they are now trying to tell them that the result that these people are holding as evidence, that is not the real result. They have the real results, and they will present the results. Do you get that? Do you get that manipulation? You know, technology changed the results. during the time people were uploading them. But there is no record of that glitch. Amazon that sold them the technology came and said there was no glitch. I'll check you. I'll show you something. Before you deceive me, I must make sure that I am not deceiving myself, okay? So they consulted this organization to help them investigate what really happened to the INEC IREF. And what happened? That the election results for presidential election results alone was the one, that they couldn't, that they couldn't upload. So what happened? And they came back and they said, no, this is not a glitch. It was a manually switched off process that day. And because the system is already vulnerable, so people could sit in their room and be uploading nonsense as your election result, even when you are still queuing or being denied the right to vote. Do you get that now? So it was like that. So it was easy for them to now say, oh, they were trying to upload fake results. Okay. And because of that, they decided to resort to the old ways of doing things, manual collation, manual announcements, which is not going to be BVAS or IREF anymore. And they have a court judgment on Adeleke versus, what's that guy's name? Tifnumbu's cousin. I forgot his name, I'm sorry. In Oshun, remember the BVAS, the accredited number, more than the voted number, this and that the tribunal said Adeleke cannot be going low to Buga. Remember that? The accounting on that, and the Supreme Court came back to say, no. Let's just resort to the manual way of how they did it if there's controversy here. And Adeleke was returned. Tifnumbu is holding on to that. And Mr. Bayo, what happened? Kilo change. I mean, like I said, here was when the Bobo issue, the one that they are telling to stay away now. After they release their own report, EU should stay away from Nigeria. What is their business with our business? They gave you 17 billion. You collected 17 billion naira, 17.4 billion. You're asking the person who gave you the money that what is his business. In fact, you are already asking for another one. Please work with us so that, next election, EU should come and finance our election and do, blah, blah, blah nonsense. So the EU that bought the Bobo even did that VAT. Can you believe that? I mean,
National Electoral Commission don't comot terrible technology wey dem call the Bimodal Voter Accreditation System (BVAS). We go make sure say mago no dey for inside general elections wey dey come so. This BVAS technology go make sure say all the people wey qualify and don register to vote go fit vote sake of fingerprint or facial feature verification wey dem don do. This technology go also comot delay, impersonation and overvoting or multiple voting for the election day. As the election dey happen, officials from INEC go use BVAS take verify say the person wey wan vote don register and dem dey eligible to vote for the polling unit wey dem dey. Dem go also make sure say the person na the original owner of the PVC wey him dey use vote. After election don finish, the BVAS na im dem go use sharp send the results from the polling unit to INEC result viewing portal IREV make everybody see. My country people, as e dey so, make sure say you collect your PVC so you sef fit join for this free, fair, credible and inclusive election for we Naija. The European Union support to democratic governance for Naija na im bring on this message.
Just so you know, now the money where EU didn't give the government money, they gave INEC the money, funded the bogus training exercise for election and other nonsense. And Mr. Bayode, before the election, was on Channels Television. He had this to say. We'll keep reminding you, no? We know that the whole thing is so garbage. but for the record.
To the
That's done.
connection, the
All
data
right.
connection
So now
component.
concerning these beavers, we've already seen some demonstration going on there in terms of the queue, what people would expect, and the results, the IREV. Maybe we should talk a little bit about that IREV and the results. What do we expect? Because I think, I'm not sure if, wait, maybe we should go this way. Now, are people still going to be able to view those results as they uploaded on INEC portal?
Yes, of course, it's real time. From the polling unit is straight to the IREF. And if there are any issue, by the time the presenter gets to the collation center, it tenders the beavers to the collation officer. It tenders the hard copy of that result to the collation officer. The collation officer is looking at the physical result and the one that was already transmitted to the IREF. Just oppose these two and see if there's any discrepancy, checking whether what is seen on the IREF is the same thing that is before him physically. So if everything went well, then the collation officer go ahead to enter into his own form at that level, the form EC8B at that level.
And that form will also still be displayed?
No, we are not transmitting that form. We are only transmitting form EC8A.
Yeah, that EC8A.
Yes.
Much as they will snap it and upload it, they will still display it as required, isn't it?
Yes, it will still be displayed at the polling unit. That's the form 60E at the polling unit. It will be displayed there. But the result itself will be taken to the collation officer and the beavers. The collation officer checks the accredited data, checks the form from EC80, that's the result sheet, and also check the one on the portal to see if there are any discrepancy, whether they are the same.
If there is any discrepancy, which result do they then go with?
No, let me just explain this.
Yeah.
Now, we have to understand the fact that at the level of the polling unit, we have also accredited polling agents or party agents. So all the political parties, we have their party agents or polling agents at the polling unit. Now, at the period of entering the scores of the candidates into Form EC8A, the polling agents will be there at the polling unit. So the presiding officer will sign Form EC8A, which is the polling unit level result, and also stamp it. The polling agents or the party agents, if available, must also countersign the polling unit level result.
Okay.
Before it is uploaded or transmitted through the IREV. Now, after the accreditation data is transmitted and the polling unit level result, that is from EC8A, is transmitted, the party agents or the polling agents, together with the presiding officer and the assistant presiding officers, will physically carry that from EC8A and the beavers and other election materials to the registration area center or the electoral ward, where they will hand over that from EC8A and the beavers to the collation officer. The collation officer will look at the physical result as handed over to him. He or she will also look at the beavers as handed over, and then look at the from EC8 or the polling unit level result as already transmitted through the IREV and the accreditation data as already transmitted before entering the scores into from EC8B, which is the registration area result. Now, if there's a dispute relating to the physically transmitted result, so to say, and the electronically transmitted result, by our own regulations and by our own guidelines and procedures, the electronically transmitted data and the electronically transmitted result will take precedence.
To the connection.
We will work with you to build a Nigeria that is not corrupt. I bring you a message of hope.
We are going to spend a lot of resources on education.
We will work with you.
You listen to him or them. This was like a day before the election. Okay? And you see that Mr. Bayode, the one that couldn't probably answer well until Okoye took over, has been with INEC since 1999 or so, 1999, about 24 years. That RCCG redeemed pastor. Now, I'm going to show you something on your screen. So on the left is his profile. On the right is his position after Mumudu announced Kolu as your president. I'll show you. The guy has been with INEC since, how long is that again now? 1999, right? And then he became deputy director in INEC. Then he also, now I'll take this one off. Then he also became assistant chief engineer, INEC. On the right is Mr. Bayode saying a new Nigeria is birth, celebrating Tifnumbu as the person they are finally rigged in as inner job. So why did he refuse to swear by the Bible? I don't read somewhere they say RCCG people, no, they swear by the Bible. Here is what Atifku's lawyers kind of had to say, I think.
We are not even surprised because if you looked very well and if you
the lawyers after today, watch that one.
We are not even surprised because if you looked very well and if you understand exactly what is happening, the whole structure of this election and the problems with the election is based on technology. And today INEC has called their IC director who came to, well, justify what INEC did by way of what they said, the glitches that occurred, how they tried to fix the glitches, how they deployed patches to fix the glitches. So apart from this issue of technological glitches, there would have been no problem with the election. The election would have been transparent, would have been credible, would have been as Nigerians expected. Because I'm sure every Nigerian who voted knew what the result of the election ought to have been. So when the people now found different results on the IREV, particularly blood copies, blood images, blood pictures on the IREV, and don't forget that INEC had assured Nigerians that election results will be uploaded from the polling unit in real time from the beavers to the IREV. So we were wondering what happened then. So, and when the INEC IC director testified and provided evidence on that, there was nothing more for INEC to say again. The form EC8A was meant to be what is on the IREV. But we have forms EC8As, we have IREV copies certified by INEC, which are completely blurred, unreadable, contains strange pictures, images. Indeed, the IC director was given a copy or copies of these blood forms, EC8As, presumably, and was asked to tell the court how many scores that were written on those copies. If you were in the court, you would have seen his difficulty because nothing was written on those documents. So one wonders, on what basis did INEC collect the result? On what basis did you announce a result when you have results of the election given by you that are not clear, they're not readable, that are indeed blood images? We are not even surprised because
blood. It was intentional. But today, INEC was asking the court that they wanted to submit some more documents as evidence, which some believe is the INEC copy of results Okay? If you have blood, unreadable results, people's pictures, images as election results, that's unreadable. You can't read them. Okay? So they asked the guy said it's not going to affect the announced results. It won't. What do you mean? We can't read this. But remember, they said all the party agents, all the party, they have their agents who also collated results. I know you must have heard everywhere that Peter Obi or Atiku have not been able to really prove anything. Of course, if you believe them, okay, I probably should tell you about this ocean that I would love to sell to you if you don't mind. But here is the truth. They said that Peter Obi, who is third, is not even asking the court, right? It's not proving to the court that he won the election. Okay? And they said that Atiku is only asking the court to disqualify Kolu and then order a rerun election. None of this is true. But I'll tell you what is true. Part of it is actually Peter Obi that is asking the court to declare him winner. Atiku is not. You know why? Because of the FCT, the 25% in Abuja. It's been a big issue that, in fact, this your court and the rest will put that to rest finally, or they will force to change the law of 25% in FCT. Only Peter Obi has that. Only Peter Obi scored over 25% in more than 2/3 states in Nigeria. Only him. You don't need to believe me. Don't worry. They've already declared a bogus, unreadable result that is disputed right now. Okay, you don't need to believe me. He is challenging not just where they declared that he didn't win. He is challenging even where they said he won. He is pulling all the figures together, and of course, we haven't read it anywhere where it is stated that this is how much score, this is how much vote I got, this is how much Tifnumbu had, this is how much Atiku. No, it's not been specifically stated in this their court trial. But you see all those boxes that they are taking to the courts, all those numbers they are juggling about, all the states they are contesting, and all those places they are running and all of that. There are numbers that are actually popping out of them. And INEC, who said in the argument, they said the what do you call it? The IRF that got compromised made them use manual, resort back to manual, and all political parties also use their own agents, like who must have the results. For you to know that there is actually a problem, that prayers of Atiku is that if they think the 25% Abuja is so important, all right, one, Atiku is demanding for a recount in so many states, okay, presenting his own evidence to say they rigged me here, they rigged me there, this is not my number and all that. Peter Obi is doing the same and is very kind of straightforward with his own. So his own demands are like 5, okay. The first one, from what I know, the first one is that I won this election. I meet all the constitutional requirements, the numbers, everything. I won. Even though he didn't say by how much or what number. He didn't tell us that. But you should expect that in those boxes. Shouldn't you? Right. And because I won, INEC has declared somebody who didn't win the winner. So court, this is the evidence. These are the evidence. I won. Declare me the winner as the president of Nigeria. He's asking outrightly from them. Then the second one is that, listen, the guy they declared winner by law should ordinarily be disqualified and be languishing in somewhere in jail for all this. So by law, he's not qualified. And if you think somehow you think my number is not enough to declare me the winner at the end of the day, you see, this guy by law shouldn't even be running. This is why disqualify him. They're asking for that. And after that, then let's have a rerun. the rerun of the entire election, right? Something that should have happened, okay? Instead of a rerun, you have a runoff before Mahmoud puts Nigeria in this whole mess as we speak, right? So he's asking, I mean, these are the major three that I can, sort of remember, right? Atiku is asking that 25% in Abuja is not that important because by his own estimate, he wants Kolu disqualified. All right. Now, if Kolu is disqualified, he is second. By the number of votes already declared by INEC, he should be declared winner, or they should go for a run of two. So you see all of this and all of the evidence of that are not, presented. INEC only presented just one witness, just to show that probably they don't have anything to defend. They have nothing to prove. Yeah, they don't. That's how I see it. Because they were supposed to kind of use about 4 or 5 days, okay, to at least water down and sort of douse whatever evidence that Obi must have presented. But that means they only had just 2 hours. Peter Obi and his team, they have been in that court for over 2 weeks before they had that break. INEC came there for just 2 hours, and they brought this Pastor Bayode, who said the glitch should not or will not affect the results. So which means things are going back to that manual. Things are going to get to that stage whereby maybe they will have to ask INEC to manually recount all year and you know what I mean? I don't know. But it took them just 2 hours to say, we don't have anything to say then. Yeah, that's it. So from tomorrow, expectedly, we expect them to close whatever they have with Tatifco as well. And, or maybe tomorrow, it will be the turn of Olanipekun, Tifnumbu's lawyer. And let me tell you this. In their own argument with Atifku, they presented what they claimed to be a certified copy of Tifnumbu's Chicago University certificate. Okay? And they said somebody inside the Chicago State University actually signed it. And that evidence result, the real result of Tifnumbu has been presented to counter the parts where they said he forged, you know what I mean? Like, is he a man or, is he a girl or a boy when he enrolled in that university then, right? They also said there is a letter from the embassy, American embassy, that said Tifnumbu was not being investigated. So Olanipekun is coming with all of this, or has already submitted that in the case of Atifku. In the case with Atifku. And finally, the argument about the drug forfeiture that Kolu forfeited $460,000 US for heroin trafficking in the 90s. Yeah? His lawyers are coming to say, by law, by Nigerian law, okay, no, hang on. Number one, there was no court trial where Tifnumbu was on trial for heroin trafficking. They also said that the forfeited money, okay, wasn't for heroin. It was because he didn't pay tax. So they wanted to present that as well. All right. And finally, they also want to present, Olanipekun is going to tell the court that by Nigerian law, all right, if you get involved in any crime, apart from murder, if you get involved in any crime and you are convicted of that crime, after 10 years, you can run for office and run for political office in Nigeria. They are also presenting that. So according to them, the issue of forfeiture, the issue of heroin deals, the issue of forgery, certificate forgery, perjury, and all of that stuff, they believe that they will become inconsequential in this case. And that will start from tomorrow. But the EU may beg to disagree because their report is also creating some new level of angst where they captured what happened in this 2023 charade so perfectly well that Tifnumbu's government are accusing Murik, and some of them are accusing the EU of trying to destabilize Nigeria. Okay, I'm not going to read all the reports because it's about 92 pages, right? But do you know that in this EU report, we also made it to that report. I don't know if it's a good thing or brethren in the temple of truth. When this EU report was being piled and then compiled, rather, I didn't know that maybe some of them are also members of the temple of truth watching us. Or maybe some of you, or all of you, you have taken your teachings on this platform, this temple, you have taken them all over the place on the global square, Twitter square, Zuckerberg square, on social media. Guess what? In the EU report that indicted INEC, indicted the Tifnumbu and the APC, indicted the military, the police, indicted some media houses, okay? They didn't forget to mention, the VAR, they call them the buzzwords, the popular words during the campaign. And guess what they said? They mentioned Atifku. That's my creation. I coined that. Tifnumbu, I coined that. So they said it became one of the most used words in your election, where people were calling Atiku, Atifku, where you were calling Tifnumbu, Tifnumbu, where the Agbadomites, they were calling obedient, obediot. All this came in their report to talk about how divided, how they used religion, ethnic, and all of that division to win election according to them. So it was biting, seriously. So I just stream through, I just show you. So it simply means that the report may not really change anything. Okay, it may not really change much. It's not going to really change anything anyway. But here, right? So their report of the general elections in Nigeria, 5th of February and 18th of March. They don't pay me, but they just mentioned how everybody they tear themselves. You know what I mean? So yeah, the final report, the table of content or something. I just go to some of the highlights. May you see them before we continue, okay? If you want to read it, see, I'll do you one favor, to those who might be interested in reading the reports. I'm not going to be reading everything, okay? Well, if you're interested in reading it, check the comments. I will leave the link in the comments. Take your time and read it, okay? And they are not those who are going to validate what we already know, okay? But for the record, if nobody didn't win any election in Nigeria, and you should say that to your children again and again, it doesn't matter. If they tell you that, so what would that change? He's the president. Tell them Abacha became president too. Abacha was president too, remember? Nobody elected him. Nobody voted for him. You remember? If he didn't die, today they would tell you he's a former president of Nigeria. And there are many like that. Nobody elected them. Same thing with Tifnumbu. And for those who put him there, I hope they will be able to sustain him in the long run anyway. So I'm going to go to some, you see, if you want to see where they mentioned the buzzword, go to the bottom of it. The bottom of the report. Like when you go to somewhere like, see, hang on. Page 80 something, I believe. Anyway, this is where they were highlighting, about the, the online presence of these candidates, how everything just like searched and all that, right? And then how the media covered these candidates, okay, in their campaigns and all that. Then they got to where, okay, hang on. I'm going to get you to that where they started talking about the buzzwords. Yeah, this, okay. They were like, conversation. I'm sorry, hang on. Let me see where it started from. Derogatory language. They call our language derogatory. They said the below listed derogatory terms, some of which are based on ethnic sentiments, have been frequently used by various actors in online conversations. The EU EOM conducted analysis of their use on Twitter. On Twitter, analyzing 100 randomly selected messages, tweets containing the keyword for each of the 7 groups of words. The mentions tab highlight the mention tab highlights the number of times specific words were captured in Twitter. Twitter was fire anyway for that the election. So pigs or PD pigs or People's Pigs Party. All right. So used to refer to supporters of the PDP party by APC supporters. Aboki is an Hausa language used to refer to northerners in a condescending manner by other ethnic tribes. The word originally means friend. Right? And then Boko Haram, English. So a condescending reference to the people of the north, who are mostly Hausa, although the term is based on the name of a terrorist organization that also operates in parts of northern Nigeria. In this context, the term is used separately from that terrorist group. Atifku, English, a term used to refer to PDP presidential candidate Atiku Abubakar, with major reference to the Atiku Gates scandal by APC supporters. They gave it to the APC supporters. That's not right. Anyway, APC supporters called him Atifku, right? Because APC supporters are also Mayegun's political scrapping. So, Obidiot, English, a reference to Labour Party, Obi supporters by supporters from the opposition, used frequently by APC loyalists and supporters. Okay? Obingo, English. Bingo means Nigerian local dog breed. This used to refer to Labour Party, Obi supporters by the PDP party members, supporters. Tifnumbu, English, a term used by supporters of the opposition parties to refer to Bola Ahmed Tinubu with reference to him being a drug lord. Anyway, you can read all of that. Then they also mentioned those who were sharing fake news. And guess those who popped up? So they said they used Tifnumbu 17,924 times. PDPix 565. Obingo 2,800. Obidiot 14,000. In these mentions, during the time of this election, then their numbers also grew up, like their followers. Atifku's follower grew by by about 183,000 followers. Peter Obi's supporters grew by 754,000 followers. Tifnumbu's supporters grew by 260,000 followers. And then Kwakwansop followers on Twitter grew by over 98,000, right? Then they went on to, misusing, or let's say using hashtag, blah, blah, blah. Then fake news. That was when they mentioned For Food Kayode. Now, you see, For Food Kayode, who has become, I don't know what actually happened, but I mean, it was really, really horrible that For Food Kayode's name popped up among the people that are going to receive visa ban. Yeah, they mentioned him. It was inciting people. I mean, cocaine is a hell of a drug. What did they call him? Cocaine is a drug, hell of a drug. Anyway, For Food Kayode, a former minister of aviation and an APC party member, made a claim on February 11, 2023, that the PDP presidential candidate Atiku Abubakar had a secret meeting with serving military generals in Abuja. He accused Atiku of wanting to incite chaos, provoke a coup d'etat, and establish a new and unconstitutional order. Kayode posted his claim across multiple social media platforms, and it garnered or it garnered 281,000 total impression. The next day, he posted that the army denied reports about a meeting between its officers and Atiku. On the 12th of February, Festus Otobokeyamo, or fraudster Otobokeyamo, from APC promoted information published by a suspicious website accusing Peter Obi of bribery. The story quickly became viral and was in few hours debunked. On March 3rd, 2023, a Twitter user, Vic Dubem, posted screenshot of a non-existent joint press statement from the EU and NDI/IRI election observation mission, dated 2nd March 2023, calling for the disqualification of Tinubu for gross electoral misconduct and demanding INEC chairman to step down and the election result to be reviewed or the election rerun. This was seen about 20,000 times, and despite being reported to Twitter, it remained active and became viral again after the 18th of March election day, further collecting views, reaching altogether almost 50,000 views. On Sunday, 19th of March, 2023, a plethora of social media pages congratulated Senator Aisha Binani, the APC female gubernatorial candidate, as she was said to have emerged as the first elected female governor before the official announcement of the winner by the electoral body, INEC. The elections were, however, inconclusive. The posts were shared multiple times, including by some reputable sources. And blah, 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 and the end. Anyway, if you have the time, please do. They highlighted a lot. I know you may not actually want to read, and about it, I want to read. But at least for academic purpose, please read. Please try. They are there for all of you, right? Let's continue. Meanwhile, I think I can take a quick break. We're almost an hour here. Now, if you are still there with me, please take a moment and like this broadcast. Okay, we are continuing in a moment as Wahala is about to, well, maybe not anyway. But again, I will be back. Okay, don't go anywhere. Just a minute.
Minority leader.